Are we good? We are good. Hello, hello, my friends, and welcome to Friday Motivation. And as you can see from the title, scrolling along the bottom of the screen, today's topic is how I'm creating a legacy for my family and how you can do it too. Now, for those of you seeing me for the first time, my name is Andrew Estwick, and I'm here today to hopefully inspire you, inspire at least one of you to take that first step towards creating the life that you deserve. As always, let me know where you're tuning in from. Drop a little message in the comments there. It's always nice to see how far that we've reached, how global that I have reached. Um, for those of you who don't know, I'm an online business owner. I love what I do. I do what I love, which is to help everyday ambitious people like yourselves. I want to help you to transition from your 9 to 5 or shift work or multiple jobs that you are doing and help you start in a flexible online business like this one. So if this sounds like something that you would be interested in, drop me a message as well in the comments below, or in my socials, which will be scrolling along the bottom of the screen throughout this little message that I'm doing to you. So let me ask you this, serious question now. All my questions are serious, but this is a serious question. Let me ask you this. If you was to lose your job today, if something was to happen to you today, you got in an accident, touch wood, it doesn't happen. But if you was to lose your job today, would you be financially secure? Yeah. Would you still be able to survive without a paycheck? They used to say back in the day, you should have at least 3 to 6 months of wages saved, put to one side in the eventuality of something happening. That would give you enough time to get back on your feet, get another job, and you're good to go. I remember back in the day, you could lose your job Friday, get another job by Monday. So within 3 to 6 days, you could be back on your feet. Not so much nowadays. So 3 to 6 months, you might be looking at 9 to 12 months without a job. So could you survive? Do you have a plan B if plan A, doesn't go to plan? For years, I never thought about this. I was just focusing on surviving, paying the bills, and getting by. But then life hit me hard, as you know, with the divorce, with the debts, and of course, with all my critical illnesses that I have. And that's when I realized, when I sat down and I did a self-reflection, a self-evaluation, I had a word with myself, and I was just existing and not building anything lasting. Sometimes you got to sit down and just have a word with yourself. It's not a sign of craziness, but you got to sit down and just have a word with yourself and say, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? So if you can relate to this, relate to what I'm saying, stick with me here, because today I want to talk about how I'm creating a legacy for my family and how you can too. I used to rely on my 9 to 5 job, and then suddenly I realized that this wasn't enough. You can't rely on your 9 to 5 job. With things that's going on in the world today, around the world, you don't know if you're going to have a job tomorrow. You might have been promised last year, hey, you'll be getting a pay rise this year. That pay rise ain't coming because the boss will say, well, we didn't make as much profit as we thought we would make, and la-di-da-di-da-di. So don't rely on your 9 to 5. Have a plan B. I think the turning point for me, and it hit me late. So this is why I want to tell you people to get out and do something now before, it gets late. It's never too late. But the turning point for me was obviously my divorce, my daughter's education, and my illness. These were the wake-up calls for me. And that's when I discovered this online business and how it works. And you want something that works for you when you're not actively working. I knew I couldn't be, I couldn't keep trading my time for money forever. I needed something that could work for me even when I wasn't working. So what is the importance of a legacy? Well, plain and simple, it's jobs versus business. So with a job, you're working for money, basically. You're working for money with a job, which means you're earning an income based on the effort, the time, the skill you put in, and often tied to the job is either going to be hourly work, it's going to be piece work, it's going to be salary. So you go into work, into your factory, you get a box, you put something in the box, you seal the box up, you move it down the line. You get a box, you put something in the box, seal the box up, move it down the line. So, and at the end of the week, Mr. Bossman comes to you and says, here you are, here's some money. Here you are, here's some money. Every week you get that, and it's the same amount of money. It's not going up. Yeah. Now, whereas having a business, this means you're using the money to generate income. Yeah, grow your wealth passively through either investments or assets, freeing up your time to trade it for money. So in a nutshell, working for money is active. Having money work for you is more passive. So don't get me wrong, doing a business, you will have to put in some work to get your business up and running. But once you get it up and running, eventually the business will work by itself and you will have to put little time into it, and you will start getting money coming back. Let's look at what's that woman called? J.K. Rowling. She wrote the Harry Potter books. Now, this was just like a little hobby for her to write books because she had this vivid imagination. She writes a book, she calls it Harry Potter, sends it off to a publisher. Publisher says, okay, I'll put this out there. It becomes a bestseller. She now gets passive income coming in. She doesn't have to write no more because the money starts coming in now. The book is selling. But because she likes what she does and does what she likes, she writes another one, a part 2. Same thing happens. Off to the publisher, becomes a seller, money's coming in. After she's done, 2, 3, 4 of these, the big boys come in, the MGMs, the cinema world. We want to take your books and turn them into a movie. And she's like, oh, yes, please, thank you. She doesn't have to write no more. She's already done the work. She's put in the work. They will take her work now, turn it into a movie. All she has to do is come along, watch it, and say, well, no, that doesn't how it goes in the book. This is how it goes. Goes out there in movie world, she collects money again. So she's passively collecting money. Even now when these movies end up on Netflix or on Prime or wherever, she's got money coming. She doesn't have to write another book. No more Harry Potter. She's good to go. So went off track there a little bit. So starting an online business allows you to spend time with your family instead of always working. That gives you what is known as time freedom. So if you could just put in maybe 2, 3, 4 hours a day, so you get up, you take the kids to school, you come home, you put in a few hours work, then you shut the laptop down, shut the computer down. That gives you time for yourself, time to do things around the house, Then you go pick up the kids. You're making tea, you're making dinner. You've got the rest of the evening for yourself with the kids, with your husband, with your wife, or whoever. You've now got time freedom. So in our business model, you can earn multiple streams of income. And these are the key to generational cycle struggle, to breaking that generational cycle struggle, which was the start of your wealth building. Yeah. So a legacy is not just about money. Yeah. It's about the freedom you have, the time you're going to have with your loved ones. Yeah. To create opportunity for your kids and to pass it down to their kids. Yeah. So if you're a single person, you have no intention of getting married, no intention of having kids, then you might not so much worry about generational wealth because you've got nobody to pass it down to. But if you do have a wife or a husband and kids, you are not going to want to see them struggle. Yeah. You see how hard it is for you. And trust me, it's getting harder for the next generation that's coming up. And I don't think it's going to be any easier for the generation below that. So how can you do this? Well, this online business that I do, it's beginner friendly. It's very, very beginner friendly. It's automated. It doesn't require any tech skills, no tech skills at all. And you will be surprised how technically skillful you are at the moment. So you might be in your 50s, 60s, you could be even in your 30s. There's people in their 30s that just say, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. But you didn't know how to drive a car until you drove a car, until you learned, you took driving lessons. And now it's second nature to you. You didn't know how to use the microwave until you used the microwave. And now you know, well, yeah, if I put this in there, I'm going to put my bowl of milk in there and I put it on for 1 minute and 20 seconds. You knew that if you put it in for 2 minutes, the first time you did it, you're saying, oh, shoot, this is too hot. So you adjusted it. It's 120. So you can learn these things, how to do it. We have people that are doing this. They started in their 20s and 30s. Yeah. But we also have people that started in their 50s and 60s, like me, So you're never too young and you're never too old to do this. I know what a lot of you are going to say. Well, I'm too old for this and I don't know all that computer stuff and I don't have the time. Well, this business, we make it all possible for you with the step-by-step video-based training. Yeah, you also get a coach and you get a mentor. So you're not left out there like some companies will sign you up and say, okay, we promise you the world. And then when you sign up, they disappear and you're left to try and work it out by yourself. And then you just give up. You just say, well, I can't do this. With our business now, we will sign you up. You will look around and you will say, okay, this is for me. I don't know how to do this. So you do it and you just say, hey, I found myself in a little bit of a problem here. So if you're in a little bit of a problem, you can say to yourself, I need to speak to my mentor. You speak to your mentor and your mentor will say to you that, okay, we can do this, we can do that and sort this out. If I speak to my coach can do this and sort this out as well. I started with little or no experience, no fancy skills, and honestly, a lot of doubt. There was a lot of doubt when I was doing this. But I took that leap of faith and I'm building something that will outlast me. Yeah. So you just got to take that leap of faith, have the ability to self-belief. That's what I'm looking for. Self-belief. You can do this. You got self-belief. So as always, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for listening to Friday Motivations. If this message inspired you, if this message inspired you, if it motivated you or resonated with you, drop a comment or share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget, you can visit my website, www.andrewestwick.com. You can hit me up on Facebook, facebook.com/brick2can, or you can email me, info@andrewestwick.com. And finally, you can catch all my previous motivations on YouTube, on my YouTube page, which is Andrew Estwick. I mean, at the end of the day, you got two choices. Yeah, it's relatively simple. You got two choices. You could keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you've always done, and stay where you are. Or you can take a chance and start building a future you can be proud of. The choice is yours. But remember this: nothing changes if nothing changes. Simple. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So, who's ready to build their legacy? Let's talk. Until next week, we'll speak again. God bless.